when you read, you get knowledge when you don't even know you're getting it.
Welcome to Hello Readers, a podcast coming to you from North Vancouver District Public Library. Today we meet
Susan.
She loves to draw and loves reading comic books and graphic novels. What is your best memory?
My best memory is when I had a triple birthday party.
What's a triple birthday party?
You have a birthday party before your birthday and at your birthday and after your birthday.
Oh, that sounds amazing. Was it 3 days in a row? Were you tired after?
Yeah, kind of.
What is your dream vacation spot?
It's probably Japan.
Have you ever been to Japan?
Yeah, once or twice, I think, but when I was really little.
Would you rather be a wizard or a superhero?
I would rather be a wizard because, I like magical stuff instead of, superpowers.
What is your favorite season?
My favorite season is fall.
Oh, that's good because we're in fall.
Yeah.
So are you enjoying this super rainy, stormy? I was going to say October, but it's November. Time is flying.
Yeah, but I don't really like it that much because it's really dry in fall.
What advice, so you're 11 years old.
Yep.
What advice would you give your younger self?
I would say eat more food because I'm really short for my age.
Okay, so what kind of food would make you get taller?
I will probably say beans or something.
Okay, so the healthy legumes.
Yeah, healthy stuff. I didn't really eat much when I was little.
Would you rather dance or sing?
Sing.
Would you rather live in a cave or a treehouse?
I think probably a tree house will be better than a cave.
What is something that annoys you?
Something that annoys me is when people ask me a question and I answer it, and they keep asking the same question over and over, and I have to answer the same question.
So it's they're just not listening.
Yep.
Very frustrating. What are your hobbies?
My hobbies are drawing and probably playing with my little brother.
Okay. How old is your little brother?
He's 2 years younger than me, 9 years old.
Oh, this is a good one. What makes you laugh the most?
When somebody tickles me or when my brother says something funny. I don't really know how to say funny things.
Mm-hmm. I think it's when I get tickled, I'm ha ha ha, but I'm also scared because it's just too much tickles. Who knows you the best?
My mom or my dad or both.
If you could make one rule that everyone in the world had to follow, what rule would you make and why? I know it's kind of tricky, but take your time.
I would make a rule that every single person should say at least one nice thing to another person a day.
Oh, I love that. That's such a good idea, and really it's not that hard to achieve, right? I think we could all do that. What are you the most thankful for?
I'm the most thankful for my whole life.
Oh, here's another one. This is kind of creative. If you had a time machine, what period of history would you travel to?
I would travel to the time period when Einstein was alive.
What is your favorite smell?
My favorite smell is coffee.
Have you ever drank coffee before?
Yeah, one time I tried, it was really bitter.
Yeah, so I have to say I love coffee, but even now, and I drink coffee pretty much every day, I still love the smell. I think the smell is better than the taste.
Totally.
How would you describe your perfect day?
My perfect day is when I get to wake up really late and then watch TV in the morning while I eat breakfast, go to school and do whatever I want, all my favorite subjects, and then come home and just lie down and go to sleep.
Would you rather go to outer space or dive to the deepest part of the ocean?
I would want to dive to the deepest part of the ocean just because I love swimming and I don't really want to die in space.
Me neither. I totally go for the ocean. I feel like the ocean is just like, at least you'll recognize some creatures down there. Who knows what's going to be out in space. How did you become a reader? Like, do you always remember enjoying books, or is it something you just got into recently?
I always enjoyed reading books. I first read when my mom got out a book, and I was like, "What's that thing with a lot of papers in it?" And then she said that it was a book, and I started reading, and it was really fun. I usually come to this library because it's the closest to my house.
Oh, nice. What is a book that you've read recently or that you want to share with us today?
I want to share Amulet and Goosebumps today. Amulet is a really fun fantasy book. It's about adventure, fear, and memories.
How do you mean memories?
The book is usually about the main character's memories and fears and stuff.
So have you read all the Amulet books?
No, I'm right now. I have only read to the 8th one.
Okay, so that's still quite a few. That's quite a lot of reading. I know that it's a popular series. It's not one I've got around to reading yet, but I know a lot of kids really enjoy it. And does it focus around one main character?
No, it has a couple of main characters. There's like about 4 or 5.
Okay, and who's your favorite character?
Emily.
Okay, can you tell us a little bit about Emily?
She's one of the main characters. She's probably the main subject. She has a little brother named Naven, and she has an amulet that guides her and gives her powers, but it sometimes take over her mind.
Mm-hmm. So for some kids who might be listening and they don't know what an amulet is, can you tell us what an amulet is?
An amulet is something that's on a necklace, but in that story, if you say an amulet, it means the pendant that's on your necklace that gives you powers, and there's lots of types of powers that you can have, but the main and lots of colors of amulets, but the main 3 colors are blue for the elves, red for the people, and green for I don't know what kind of creatures have the green one, but.
And if you were going to choose what power you would want from those books, what would it be?
It would be the power of a bubble shield underwater. You can breathe inside it, and also you can move it wherever you want it to go.
So actually, Goosebumps is a good one to talk about because I read a lot of Goosebumps when I was younger. They've been around for quite some time. What do you like so much about Goosebumps?
I like it because it's mostly about scary stories, and the title explains it. The title is Goosebumps, so when you're scared, you get goosebumps on your arm, and that really makes it a really chilling, very scary story.
Ooh, okay. How many Goosebumps have you read?
I read about 5 or something. I also heard that Goosebumps were the first book of Goosebumps was made in 1997.
So for the Goosebumps series, what I remember reading them is like you read a chapter and then at the end it's always like a cliffhanger. So you're like, what happens next? What happens next? I always wonder because I'm kind of like I've never really liked horror movies because they scare me too much. Do you think Goosebumps are like just the right amount of scary? Are they ever too scary?
No, I think Goosebumps are the right amount scariness. I don't really like horror movies too because they're sometimes too scary. But Goosebumps, they don't really show pictures of something, only on the front cover. But I haven't read the Goosebumps comics. I think they are pretty scary too because they show all the pictures. But I think the original Goosebumps series isn't that scary for little kids.
So, is there any other books that you'd like to share with our listeners today?
You Kid and Class Act are by the same author, which is Jerry Craft. It is based on his life at middle school.
Can you tell us a little bit about New Kid for starters?
New Kid is really fun. It's about a boy that wanted to go to art school instead of middle school, but his mom made him go to a private school instead of art school. And then it's kind of about friendship. He meets a lot of friends for a start. He meets Liam, and then he gets to know a lot of more kids. But he's really annoyed about Andy, which is a kid that's been around that school since kindergarten, and he really annoys the main character. Yep.
So, New Kid, I've read that one, but I haven't read the other one, which is Class Act.
Yep. It's the next book of New Kid, like after the summer break happens. At
I
the
didn't
end.
know. Is it so? It's some of the same characters.
Yep.
Oh, okay. And like, what happens in Class Act?
Oh, it's a continuing book of New Kid. In New Kid, it only shows Jordan's perspective, which is the main character. But in Class Act, it shows a lot of other characters in New Kid's perspective too. For example, there's Drew, aka Andrew, but he prefers Drew, and also Liam, which is another Jordan's friend.
New Kid and Class Act for anyone who's interested, right?
Yep. Oh, I found an Easter egg in New Kid. It's not really an Easter egg, but it's kind of like I shared about Amulet, and in New Kid, Jordan got a Secret Santa present, which is Amulet from his other friend.
Ooh, that's cool. So again, for anyone who's listening, maybe younger kids don't know what an Easter egg is. Can you explain to us what an Easter egg is?
Easter egg can be in a movie, a video game, or any kind of thing that you can see or hear. It's like something that other people can't, that don't focus on, like not the main thing, but something about something else.
Right. So it's kind of like a little, it's almost like it's something almost, I don't know. I'm not even going to try.
Like I know it, but I can't explain it. For example, I like saw a video that's about Disney movies, and it had like the Easter egg, which is about that Monsters Inc. Do you know that movie?
Oh, I love Monsters Inc. I own the DVD.
And on that movie, it shows Nemo, which is another Disney character.
Mm-hmm. Now it's November 2021. We're coming into 2022. Do you have any like reading plans for the new year? Any books you're really interested in reading?
I really want to read some other new comics. I'm really interested in Marvel comics these days. I have read Miss Marvel yesterday, and it was really fun. I'm also planning to read Amulet number 9. I'm really excited about what would happen to the character.
Okay, so now I'm going to ask you for some reading tips, helpful tips for, for someone who might be listening. Maybe a parent who's listening, or maybe also a child who's listening. What advice would you give to a child who doesn't want to read?
I would say if you read, you you can start off reading by like comics or like picture books, but when you read, you get knowledge when you don't even know you getting it. Like for example, storybooks, they're fun, but you always learn a lesson at the end. Like don't be scared of stuff or like be kind to people. I really like comics and those like short. What do you mean? Short novels.
Oh, okay. If kids don't like to read, they can maybe try comic books or picture books first. So, my next question is obviously, the last almost 2 years of life have been very different. How has reading been for you during, like, have you been reading more? Has it kind of like influenced what activities you do?
For start, COVID had like changed a lot of things about reading for me because I couldn't go to some libraries because they were closed for COVID, right? Because of COVID, and also I spend much more time reading books that I didn't want to read for some reason. I needed to go out of the library more quickly.
I think that's, I mean, I know what it feels like when you are like, because I work at the library, so I take home books all the time, but like I own not very many books. And so then if you're stuck in the house, maybe you're not feeling well or you have to stay home and you have to read something you've already read and you don't want to read it, it is not a good feeling. I'm guessing your favorite part of the library, I think I might already know, is it the graphic novel and comic book shelf?
Yep. That's my favorite one. I only get to go to the comic book section once or twice or 3 times a week. Only a little bit. Not every time I come to the library.
That sounds like a pretty good amount of time.
Yeah, but sometimes I don't even get to go to the comic book section. And I'm stuck with only like 2 or 3 comics to read over and over until the weekends.
Do you have any fun plans for next year other than reading plans? Or you don't know? I guess nobody really knows what next year is going to look like yet.
Yeah, me too. I think bad luck is when COVID gets stronger and then we need to stay at our home and then go in our rooms and then not meet like our family.
Mm-hmm.
And if you have good luck, COVID will be over and then we get to visit other countries. And then bad luck is COVID starts again because people visiting countries.
Hey, it's like a cycle. Do you want to send a shout out to anybody?
Shout out is thank you for this library and this like conversation. And I think this library is really good for the people that come to this library.